It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. They didn't do it.
We still love you.
Okay.
Hi, you're watching Movie Guide. I'm your host, Evie Bear Carroll, and we're at the red carpet premiere of The Chosen Season 3. We're going to talk to some of the cast and crew. So you have themes to different seasons, right? And so our next theme that's coming up is rest. Am I right?
Yeah, well, at the end of season 3, Jesus says, while he's preaching, "Come to me, you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." That's the theme of season 3, because season 3 has a lot of the weary and heavy laden part. And one of the things that is very important to me with this show is that we don't skip over that. We don't gloss over that, because I think that would be dishonest. So when Jesus came in the first century, he would think about what they were experiencing: political divisiveness, oppression. In fact, they had diseases. They had things that were very similar to what we're going through. And the Jewish people were like, "Okay, he's here. He's going to make everything great. We're going to overthrow the Romans. Everything's going to be made whole." And he's like, I have a different definition of what rest is, of what a kingdom is. And I think that's the key in season 3. We see that more than ever. Here's the good news. He gives rest. And so we see Jesus give rest in season 3. And hopefully when you see the problems and the questions that they have in season 3, you also see the solutions and the answers.
Well, this is what I love what you guys are doing with this series throughout the whole thing. It's like you're using these biblical stories and you're making it so relevant today. And the Bible is full of this, right?
Yes.
Like this is how we read the Bible, but it's there in a visual format. And I just commend you on that. And, you know, how do you pick where you're going with these things?
Well, we start with the end. So when we first got here, when we first started to develop this show, we were like, okay, we know where the story ends. It's not a spoiler. Jesus resurrects from the dead, right? And the disciples are then sent out to change the world. Let's work our way backwards from there. What's going to lead up to that to make that even more impactful? To make people, when they read the Gospels, to be even more impacted. So we can take these stories and pick these characters based on what's the most interesting and relatable journey that I as a viewer can connect with. And so it starts with things like, all right, we know Simon ended up, even though he followed Jesus, he was still crazy in many ways. So what would he have been like before he met Jesus? You know, and then that gives us a window into what Jewish life was like at that time, what it was like to be poor, what it was like to need Jesus. So that's really, I think, the key is starting from the end and working our way backwards.
You know, we awarded The Chosen the first season, I think, and now we are on the third season. How is it to be here, and how is your, personal faith growth?
Oh, it's gone deeper. It's been a very challenging season to film technically, and so I think it's really afforded me the opportunity to go deeper in prayer and just to be able to get through some of the physical challenges, like we had construction and delays and COVID and all sorts of stuff, and you just double down on your prayer life, and I'm extremely comfortable doing that, and now I'm even more comfortable talking about it than I think when I met you 2 years ago. So it's been great.
What are your most exciting moments in this season coming up that you are really excited for audiences to see?
Well, I mean, these first 2 episodes are going to be really, really powerful and stuff that I think people will relate to in ways that they didn't know were coming. And there's so much. Like there's so much. I can't wait for people to see it. So
excited! You guys are reaching a lot of people and a lot of non-believers and good Christians and everything.
Praise God! Yeah, we're trying to reach everybody and let people know that there's room for everybody at the table.
What can we see from Mary this time?
This season, she gets to have a little emotional break compared to the first 2 seasons. She had so many ups and downs, and she gets to sort of settle into her role in the ministry. She starts helping finance it, and she's kind of there as support for a lot of the other characters. She recognizes when other people are in pain, and she's able to sort of start helping them and giving them advice, and it's a very subtle growth and maturing for her that has been really wonderful to be able to play this season.
Have you, when you're taking on this role, have you felt things that you connect with her on? Or growth that you felt?
Almost, yeah. Every season, it's like it's something new. Season 2 was this wonderful experience to see her backslide and know that she's still loved. And I was kind of going through my own thing there. And this season, it's this growth in her, this maturing. And I always feel like she's a role model for me of this is the direction of how how to, open your heart more to love and to God, and I'm feeling it.
You guys have been aboard this project for a while now, right? We're season 3.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel knowing that, you guys have done this?
If you were to say 5 years ago we would be standing right here having an interview, I would say you're crazy. Because it's a TV show. Why are we premiering it in theaters? But what I loved is what the vision that Dallas shared 5 years ago. And it was something that I could get excited about. And I knew that if we could actually do it right, if Dallas could actually write the script right, where it was really talking about real problems with real people and showing some transformation, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And so after reading the scripts of season 1, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. Only if we can actually produce it this way. And season 1 was amazing. Season 2 was amazing. But season 3, watch out. Because it's really going to be beautiful to watch everyone that's really personally invested with these characters and seeing what happens to them during season 3.
So for you, on a personal level, how amazing is it to work on a Christian project that's, talking about the gospel to people?
Yeah, for me, I got a couple of loves and passions. Number one is for God, my family. It's like a close second. And then social media. I love social media. Really, I grow audiences for a living. And when I found out that my passion for audience development online and my passion for Jesus could intersect, it was like a miracle. It's like, this is the best job in the world. So
It adds a lot of, deeper meaning to it, right? What you're working towards and what you guys are accomplishing. And you do have a really big fan base. Now, you were talking about, hoping to reach the younger audience. Can you kind of talk about that?
yeah, for us, it's always making sure that we're creating content that connects. And, we only have 8 episodes in season 3. And so for us, it's all the other content that we do. And so if you really look on all our socials, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, and even IG, we're really trying to speak to that audience that actually consumes that platform.
Well, a very interesting show that you guys did. I forget the name of it. Yes. I cannot believe who came up with this concept. This was a really interesting.
Yeah, so I like crazy experiments, and I thought, hey, how would that actually do? How would Gen Z react? I spent a career working with Gen Z, and I thought, how would they react to the show? I'd really like to be a fly on the wall. And so I pitched it to Catherine, who's one of our producers, and she says, that's a really good idea. I'm like, good, go make it happen.
Her husband's, you're a smart dude. This is like really creative. But also it's reaching, that show was taking non-Christians to see the show. And you saw like a faith kind of spark in these people. And so I love that.
Yeah, I think when you really look at the documentary, there's complication in life, and we all have baggage, and we all process baggage differently. And I think this generation really is compounding all the choices that they have, and they're trying to discover what's right and what's real and what's true and what's not. And it was really beautiful to watch just their countenance and also their persona and how they interacted with the content, and how beautiful it was where the message that Jesus gave 2,000 years ago was super relevant for them, and see their transformation.
They introduced you at the set visit having these long backgrounds, Hollywood executives, coming to the faith world. How's this experience been?
Well, I didn't come out of the studio. These guys did. So you get to talk to them. I'm out.
Actually, it's a faith journey, right? And so the whole thing is that he and I partnered up, and really what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the structure and the scale of a studio, paired it with the independent, and trying to tell these stories better, right? In a way that is of a level. What we've discovered is there's a big audience. There's a huge audience that is waiting to be to have this content made for them, right? And so we're just, I don't know, we're blessed just to be on this ride at this point, to help hopefully pave the way. That's the thing, is I hope this paves the way for so many more things of quality. For us personally, we know that this is the bar, and we can't turn back now.